Hey everybody, it's Doc Green, the Road Scholar. First, I'd like to say congratulations to the. I'm sorry. Uh, congratulations to the new country of CHAZ. They are the newest country in the world. I guess they're a new player on the world stage. Um, it's the newest country. It's an autonomous country. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to try to be serious here. We have a new country inside the United States called the country of CHAZ. Um, this is in Seattle. Well, it's within the city limits of Seattle, but it's its own country now, I guess. Anyway, what has happened is they've taken over this neighborhood, and the mayor has given them this area. That's the funniest part. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not funny. I'm sorry, I should take this serious. The government of Chaz, we'd like to welcome you to the world stage. But here I'm going to tell y'all what happened here. The first thing they did. Now, this is Democrat, the anti-fascist Democrat Antifa thing that the Democrats love so much and everything. The first thing they did when they developed their little country, guess what they did? They built border walls. Oh, what? You're restricting the freedom of people? Anyway, but yeah, they built border walls. Their first step. Um, and hey, guess what else they did? They got border patrol on those walls with guns. And before you can enter the country of Chaz, you get your ID checked, and they decide they're going to let you in or not. So anyway, that's what's happening with the country. That's only part of it. Another thing's happening with the country of Chaz is, and guys, understand this is a serious thing here about this though, is because they made their demands. They want the city of Seattle to disband their police force and their court system. I don't know how an autonomous country tells another autonomous country what to do, but that's what they're demanding. But meanwhile, they don't have a police force, but they do have a police force. What do I mean by that? Well, they have a bunch of guys walking around with guns enforcing the rules. And I guess the laws, I guess, is their laws of Chaz. For instance, they had some guys that were spray painting on a wall the other day, and the new leader, this self rap, I don't remember the rapper's name. I'm just gonna call him Rapper Dum Dum. Decided he didn't want that, so they beat these guys up and and, and told them they can't do that. But they're not police. They walked up on these guys, seen it, and said, "No, we're not going to have that." The guy said, "What's different? You did this, and you did this." So they beat them up. So I guess the country of Chaz doesn't have the Miranda rights. I guess it's some of the stupidest thing I've said. Okay, no, it's not stupid. I'm sorry. I show respect for the sovereign nation. Anyway, so they don't have a police force, but they're policing the area themselves without any badges. They don't read Miranda rights. They have no place to detain people, so they just beat them up real good. Um, and then they go into businesses because every country must have an economy, and they do have an economy because there are businesses that were there. It's sort of like when the Iron Wall went up. Y'all may not remember that, younger generation. There used to be a thing called the Berlin Wall, and these businesses that got caught in there are still in there. So uh, rapper Dum Dum has got his armed guards, and they go into these businesses taking their money and say, "Look, you need to help pay for the country of Chaz." So they're demanding taxes at almost 100%. I'm sorry, it's not funny. It is funny. I don't care. Okay, it's not funny. Show respect for the city, for the country of Chaz. Anyway, so they have they don't have a police force, but they do have a policing force. They don't have a court system, so you don't get to go to court if you get found guilty. You just get the crap beat out of you. They don't have a court system or anything for you to appeal your taxes. They have guns to go take your money anyway. So that's what's happening in the country of Chaz. And the funny part is, I remember just a few weeks ago when some white militiamen went into the state capitol and they were licensed to carry guns, and they did. They carried them into the state capitol, which was legal. They legally did it. Everyone freaked out. Oh my God, this is going to be the end of our nation. You can't do this. You can't take guns. You can't threaten and take a part of. Anyway, you're threatening the foundation of our country. Yet I haven't heard anything from Clinton News Network, or CNN as you call them, or MSLSD. I'm sorry, MSNBC, not MSLSD, or any of these other news stations about this. Chaz, these people literally burned down buildings, chased police, and broke buildings and everything else, but you don't hear about them being a problem. A matter of fact, the New York Times and some of them are reporting on it. It's a festive time period in the country of CHAZ. Yeah, New York uh, Times recognize them as a nation. It's a festive time in the country of CHAZ. I don't know if the girls that were raped there the other day calling for police help to get police in there, and police said they couldn't go in because the mayor gave them the territory. But anyway, I don't know if that was a festive time for those young ladies, but that's what the New York Times says. It's a festive time. It's like a parade. So anyway, that's how the country of CHAZ is going. Country of CHAZ. Okay. So anyway, I don't hear any Democrats talking about that. How that's against the law. But some guys going up into a Capitol building with guns that they were legally able to carry, didn't hurt anybody, didn't tear up anything, didn't threaten to shoot anybody. That was the end of the United States as we know it. But someone forming an old country within our borders is not. And then the same Democrat, and see, these are all Democrats that are forming this. Well, they used to be Democrats. I don't know what they call them in their country now. I guess Antifa has its own political party. But they were always against borders. Remember that? We don't need borders. But the first damn thing they did is set up borders. So, okay, anyway. So that's what's happening there. And now they're demanding that the city of Seattle, they had a whole lot of demands. They want um, the police force disband, which I don't know why they're worried about. They don't even have a police force. They just have a bunch of renegades running around and street vigilantes running around telling people what to do. But they want all this stuff done. And the funniest, strangest part to me is that the city mayor gave them their own country and recognized them, negotiating with them. And I don't mean like a terrorist negotiation. I mean, there's no one. I mean, they're negotiating like that. Like this is a real country. So if you're going to recognize, my question is, who gave the mayor or the governor of Seattle the right to give any property to another country? I thought we settled that during the Civil War. You can't just do that. Unless it's in your constitution, you have the right. Like Texas, it's in there. That's part of their surrender to the union. They have the right to secede. It would be stupid if Texas did. But this country of CHAZ, I guess they need to think about some things because, see, all these big trucks that I drive and all these other truck drivers out here driving everything, these are US DOT regulated trucks. We can't go into your country. We can't. It's illegal for us to cross the border illegally into your country and bring you food or clothing or toilet paper or anything. We can't do it. It's against the law. So, and the thing is, I'm not delivering anything to Seattle anyway. If you're going to be this damn stupid up there, that 77% of the truck drivers polled are not going to be delivering anything to Seattle or Minneapolis or any other city that defunds their police departments. We're not doing it. We're not putting our lives at risk. So anyway, guys, I just want y'all to, everyone, I don't know what to say. Everyone needs to take time and recognize tonight and congratulate the new country CHAZ. And we wish them the most economical we wish them the best on their economic policies. I don't know who they're working with on trade or anything, but it's going to be interesting to see how those countries bring them any supplies or anything because they got to cross the American border to get into theirs. And I don't think, for some reason, I just don't see the president allowing that. On to a more serious note here, though, guys, because I'm sorry, that's just a few days ago, I posted on my channel where the president did not have right to use military force against the rioters in all these states and everything because the rioters were breaking civil law, and the city and the state need to handle that on local and state level. Unless they can't and get overrun or run out of supplies or resources, then the president can come in and federalize National Guard, stuff like that, because he can't use the Insurrection Act because the Insurrection Act is only good for armed insurrection or rebellion. Well, guess what these people in the country, these citizens of CHAZ did? They called themselves the George Floyd Rebellion. So that's rebellion. That's under the Insurrection Act. And they used armed guards and stuff and military style weapons and armed guns to take over this area. So that's an armed insurrection. Now that law that Trump was talking about a few days ago that he legally wasn't able to use then, he's legally able to use now, the Insurrection Act. So I don't know how long the president's going to keep playing with these people, but we all know the President Trump, is a little bit tweaked. So y'all can say what y'all want to, but pretty soon he's going to send in if the city of Seattle and the state of Washington can't get their act together, he has every legal right to use the U.S. military to go in there and take that neighborhood back, or I'm sorry, take that country back, because it's not their country. They obtained it illegal. They obtained it. I guess they think they obtained it by force of war or something. But what they have to realize is when the mayor backed out and everything, she's trying to save lives. More specifically, y'all's lives in CHAZ, because she could have easily wiped y'all out. The state of Washington is trying to let y'all cool down and calm down and everything, but he's trying to save your lives, because if they unleash the National Guard, y'all are done. But if he doesn't do something pretty soon, President Trump will. And when they bring in the real army and the real Marines, which they probably won't need very many, but it's going to be bad. It's going to be very bad. And a lot of, see, I would say our citizens are going to get killed in this, but the truth is they're not really our citizens anymore. They're the citizens of a foreign country who has made themselves an enemy, foreign and domestic, in America. So they're both enemy, foreign and domestic, within our borders because of their own country now. And so I know they've applied to the United Nations. They did send a letter to the United Nations to be recognized as a country of their own. Um, but they haven't gotten any response back from the United Nations yet. But guys, y'all better be waking up. I don't know how you're going to eat without trucks being able to come in. You don't have any gardens. You don't have any natural resources. You don't know how to work with them if you did. Um, y'all are in trouble. There's no treaty or anything else for us to be able to deliver anything to you. So good luck on that, Scooter. I don't know what y'all are thinking. Um, why the mayor is even going through this other than just trying to save some dumb people's life, like rapper Dum Dum himself and his military, because he's literally turned into a warlord in there. He is literally taken to the streets and he is demanding his own laws or his own rules, because they haven't written laws. Maybe they did. Maybe they made verbal agreement on laws or whatever. But he has became a warlord in there, and what he says goes. And he's got the people and the arms to enforce his rule in the country of jazz. I'm sorry, I can't help it. But I don't know what they're going to do, because why the mayor is even playing with them or trying to make them feel like they are legitimate is beyond my belief. I can't even grasp my head around that. And for anyone on here who goes, yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to get rid of the police. Is it a good thing to get rid of the police and replace them with a bunch of thugs who you don't have Miranda rights with? You don't have a right to court. You don't have right to an attorney or any of that, because that's exactly what's happening. Dum dums, you didn't think it through. And all these other people talking about defunding the police. If you defund the police, who do you think's going to step in? Someone's going to, in any system where you take down an authoritarian figure, you're going to have a power vacuum and someone's going to assume control. Just like in Iraq, just like in Iran, just like in every third world country, and just like it's going to be in your city when you defund the police. Someone else is going to take over, and they're not going to read your Miranda rights. And there's no one you can complain to, because you did it to yourself. Defund the police, morons.